This is the Hammer Down Racing Report.
Welcome, race fans, to the Hammer Down Racing Reports. Show number 156 for November 12th, 2020. The year of craziness.
Yeah.
Amen.
Scott Hammer with you, Jerry Keyser, Ron Miller, your Hammer Down Racing Report hosts, coming at you live from our Hammer Down Racing Report home studios. Live on Facebook, live on Twitter, Periscope. You're moving. Things are moving over there, Jerry.
I had to shift the party a little bit.
Live on YouTube as well. Make sure to follow us on all of those if you don't already.
Scott, watching that intro, we've been watching a lot of those videos for quite a while now. Why don't we invite some of our listeners to maybe share some videos with you and change it up a little?
Now that I have a little bit more free time, you want me to spend more time working on this stuff?
I do.
Oh, well, all right then.
What do you think, Jerry? Does that sound like a winner?
I thought that from the get. I mean, I'd like to see
What?
something, maybe some video from Millstream if anybody has any.
Well, it has been. When did I put that together? It was probably at least a couple years ago that we've been using that same intro there.
Yeah.
So maybe it is time for some new intro video.
We just took a vote.
But did we?
Yes.
I did not realize this was a democracy.
Well, it's supposed
I
to
thought this
be.
was a dictatorship.
Yeah, here we go, Jerry.
Yeah. Ixnay on the oat may.
Am I getting voted out? The camera's messed up.
Absolutely.
No,
we can't give her the hammer and the hammer
can,
down.
You can stay. We just thought we'd throw a little more work your way.
All right, that's fine. If anybody has some video that we can use.
You could be displaying your talent, Scott, and use it in your resume.
Sure. Go ahead and get with me sometime after the show, and maybe we'll put together a new intro. We're supposed to be getting some new voice work, actually. Amy Brooks, formerly of WIOT, I used to work with. She has agreed to redo some update that for us. So we're waiting on that.
Making us sound even more professional.
Is that possible, though? Well, I guess it would. The question is it possible to sound any less? Anyway, speaking of professional, we're one of the nominees for Toledo City Paper's Best of Toledo 2020 in the local podcast category. I've been voting daily. I don't know about you guys. I figured time I'm going to try and make a run at this and make this happen because we were nominated back in 2018. Didn't win, but being nominated was pretty cool. But now we want to go a step further. So hit up our Facebook page. We got a link there, or you can go to ToledoCityPaper.com and find it there. But there's a direct link. Wait till after the show. We'll remind you at the end of the show. And you can go there and vote every day, once a day.
Every email address. If you've got a work email and a home email.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that works on that. I just go there and vote. So, So there you go. And even if you don't like us, just go and vote for us anyways.
We got to be better than those other four.
Continuing on, we're looking for a studio sponsor just for the measly small investment of just $750. Give you studio naming rights and at least 1 year of ads in the show, including the little scroll deal that we have here that it's right there, right below Ron. So just $750, and that'll provide us with professional equipment. May not be a professional show, but at least we'll have professional equipment. That's all that matters. So if you're interested in that, get a hold of me there as well. Make sure to, as I already said this, follow us on Twitter at Hammer Report. Follow us on YouTube. Like us on Facebook. You can even go ahead and leave us a review. I guess that's good for our podcast numbers too. Leave us a review. That'd be cool. And you can also listen to us on demand, your favorite podcasting platform, iTunes, Spotify, and Google Podcasts, whatever you happen to listen to us on. Tonight on the show, we're going to have the Oakshade Raceway Championship month continues. Last week we had Attica champs on. This week we got all four as a matter of fact, scheduled to be on the show tonight, including late model champ Steve Kester, Sportsman champ Rusty Smith. We got Ricky Riffe. I see he's already in the green room there.
All right.
And Eric Carr will be joining us, a Sportsman champ as well. So
we may even be awarding the Redneck of the Year award, Scott.
Yeah. I just heard this story shortly before we came on, and I'm more curious now about it. Also coming up a little bit later on in tonight's show, we will have a Hammer Down hotline. That's that little number you can call anytime, day or night, 419-318-3081, and leave a message if you want to be on the show. That's it. It's pretty easy. And you can talk about anything.
And we have an in-studio contest going. If you recognize the voice, let us know.
Yeah. The one on tonight's program, we think we know who it is. And actually, I probably could have looked at the number and figured it out, but I was too lazy. Well, the call just came in at like 6:30, so I didn't really have much time to do much. So anyway, before we get to our racing roundup, I want to thank our sponsors again. Ron Miller Race Cars, Lambertville, Michigan, 734-856-7223. Race cars, parts, safety, equipment, service, everything a racer needs, and you're feeling better. So
yeah,
business as usual, right?
I feel great.
Okay, good. Millstream Speedway. We've been talking about them all summer. They've been on board as a sponsor, and we've been talking about them returning to racing, and now we actually have a date for that. They're going to have the Hangover Race 2 in conjunction with Sandusky Speedway. So first race back at Millstream Speedway in many years now, January 2nd. It's a Saturday, 2021. Hangover 2. Make sure to follow them on Twitter or Facebook or millstreamspeedway.net. Also, Big D's Pizza. As always, mention the Hammer Down Racing Report. Save 10% off any order. Give them a call, 419-547-1444. And we'll be giving away a Big D's Pizza later on tonight for tonight's How Many.
Wonder if Grubhub comes over here from Clyde.
You know, there's, a certain amount of money will buy you just about anything. It's like you always say, how fast you want to go, how much how's that go?
Speed costs money. How fast do you want to go?
There you go. So how much you want to pay for that food? That'll get you there. It'll cost you, but it'll probably come. Anyway, what do we got, Jerry?
Well, before we go to the racing roundup, let's see. Rhonda was asking if people can call into the Hammer Down hotline just to say how much our show is enjoyed. Absolutely. If you just want to call, even if you don't enjoy it, call and let us know. We'll put you on the air. We'll hear it and figure out how to make it better for you.
If there's something you think we should change, let us know.
Like the video at the beginning of the show.
Absolutely.
Hey, oh my gosh.
Yeah, but Matt Swander chimed in and said he's happy with the original video.
That's because he's in every shot.
Oh yeah.
No, I think that video was the Oakshade video was pre-Matt. Actually.
Okay, fair enough.
Because I actually shot that a couple years ago at one of the birthday race weekends, I believe it was.
Very cool.
Anyway.
So that'll take us to this week's racing roundup. The World of Outlaws Morton Building late models were in action last Thursday while we were on the air. Tim McCready picked up the victory in the last call on Thursday night. It was his first feature win at the dirt track at Charlotte and the final World of Outlaws late model event of the season. Kyle Larson, who broke his own track record that same night, finished 8th. Next up for the World of Outlaws late models will be Volusia Speedway Park on January 14th through the 16th in 2021. The World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint cars were in action on Friday and Saturday at Charlotte. David Gravel won his 3rd straight Charlotte victory on Friday night's opening of the last call, which kept Jason Johnson racing in the Owners' Championship. But Saturday night, it was Logan Schuchart dominating the season finale for his 7th win of the year, allowing Brad Sweet to pick up the season championship for the drivers and Owners' Championship. In NASCAR action, Sheldon Creed made a move 4 wide on a late restart after pitting for fresh tires to win and capture his first NASCAR Gander RV and Outdoor Truck Series championship. Austin Cindric became another first-time NASCAR champion after winning Saturday's Xfinity Series race with some late race heroics. He got by Noah Gragson on the last lap of an overtime finish to take the win. Chase Elliott led 153 laps in Sunday's season finale 500 at Phoenix to win his second race in a row and to earn his first ever NASCAR Cup Series championship in his 5th full-time season, joining his father as just the 3rd father-son duo to pick up Cup championships. Pre-race inspection forced Elliott to start the race at the back and still was able to come up and dominate. Jimmy Johnson finished 5th in his final full-time NASCAR Cup race. He'll be moving on to IndyCar next year. With that, that's our results for last week. Real quick, did want to mention local racing in this area took a hit this morning. Longtime stock car racer, truck racer, mechanic, father of racers and flagman Roger Keyser, my cousin, passed away this morning at 5 a.m. Very sad around this area. Roger was definitely a part of all the racing around here from all these tracks. Waynesfield there on the screen, but Lima Land, Eldora. Just very, very shocking news for my family, and we're going to miss Roger.
Obviously, our condolences to the family.
Absolutely. It's a moment of silence right there. I was giving a moment of
I appreciate
silence.
that.
You're welcome. Used to doing it after the national anthem. Maybe that's what we should do. Should we have the national anthem play during the
only if it's
opening
Jimi
video?
Hendrix.
Only if it's Jimi Hendrix. Or what about your guy's buddy down there in Tennessee? Riders buddy, Bounce Riders buddy.
Yeah, Lee. Yeah, that would be fantastic. We could get him to arrange that for us.
We'll do a special. He can record a special version just for the show.
A special rendition just for Hammer
Greenwood.
Down.
There you go. Hope he doesn't want royalties though.
That'd be the downside.
So again, it is championship month here at the Hammer Down Racing Report. Next week we will have the Fremont champions on. 2 weeks from tonight, it's going to be Thanksgiving. We're not going to be here. We're taking the night off. We're going to go have a big, huge gathering and have a super spreader event. No, we're just taking the night off, really. That's all that's going on. Well, it looks like we got all of our champs here except for one. So we're gonna go with what we have here. Ron, you look like you're intently looking into something.
Oh, I was just looking at something in the scroll.
Okay. Hopefully it's nothing wrong. Let's bring in our champs now from Oakshade Raceway, actually. And as we do that, I want to mention that I did speak to Pam this afternoon a bit about the banquet. It's not actually a banquet. It's an awards reception. And it's going to be different this year. It is still on as of right now, but it's going to be different from the award banquets of the past. And they're still working out the details on that. And things still could change depending on how things go.
Still tentatively scheduled first Saturday in December?
December 5th, I believe that is.
Okay.
Yes. So it may end up being a staggered thing by class, or it may be a worst case scenario, a drive-through kind of thing. But yes, Chris, that's what I'm wondering too. He says, "Where's Kester?"
Yeah.
I believe we had issues last time with Kester trying to get connected, and we had to do a phone call. So we may have to give him a call a little bit later. But we'll move on with the champions that we do have with us. Again, Mr. Riffe, champion of the bomber class this year. Eric Carr joining us, champion of the compacts, and Rusty Smith, champion of the Sportsman class. So congratulations on your championship seasons. Let's start off talking with you, Rusty, if that's okay.
All right.
So you started the season off strong. You right out of the gate, you had 4 feature wins, and then you kind of, I don't know if I'd call it a slump, but you didn't have any feature wins for a while. What happened there?
Just one of them things, trying to get the car figured out.
So was it the competition getting faster, or was it you making changes that didn't work?
A little bit of both, I think.
Well, you had Brandon Gregory that he ended up winning 5 in a row in the middle of the season, and what's going through your mind as he's going through winning all these races? Are you thinking it's a championship slipping away?
I just knew I just had to be consistent and
Keep
be
him
there
in
at the end of
keep him in
every-
sight.
So did you have any kind of strategy or anything? Did you any kind of regrouping in the middle of the season?
No, not really. Just go out and whenever race I can.
You had a couple of glitches too during the year, didn't you? That could have had you a little worried.
Yeah, there's a couple of them.
What were the glitches? More details.
Oh, just getting tangled up with other cars. Just put it that way.
Well, I know you had an issue there the final night, championship night. You were leading most of that race and then had an issue with a lap car, and I believe you cut out a tire, right?
Yeah, we took out a right front tire with 3 laps to go and just babied it at home.
Now, you did have the advantage, though, that Gregory, I don't know if you know what the reason was. He did not end up making the start for that feature event. So, I mean, that kind of took some of the pressure off for you, didn't it?
I didn't know anything about it until after the race.
Really? So you were thinking that?
I was just going hard as I could.
So what were you thinking then when you got that flat tire? I mean, were you pissed? Were you like, this could cost me the championship?
Oh yeah, I was definitely pissed, but I mean, it was just a racing deal, and I kind of knew where I had to finish.
And where did you end up finishing? Wasn't it like 10th or something?
I was 10th, yeah.
All right.
We had a few spots we could give up.
Well, you ended up hanging on, and I mean, any damage to the car other than the tire then at the end?
No, just a tire and bead lock ring and a tie rod.
Well, it's not too bad. You got the championship.
Yeah.
Your first actually, I believe everybody first time champions this year in all 4 classes. How big is that for you? How many years have you been running at Oakshade?
It's been about 18 years.
So this means a lot to you, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
right?
finally got the monkey off the back.
So what's going on then for next year?
It's still up in the air right now. Thinking about going late models, but just looking for some sponsors for an engine and see what happens.
I was going to say that I thought you've run that 71 car as a late model, haven't you?
Just a couple.
Yeah, we ran it last couple. There's a couple shows out in Indiana. We went out and ran late models with.
How successful were you running that as a late model?
We went to Gas City, struggled in qualifying and got it better each race, and came home with the top 5. And then went to Kokomo and started towards the tail in the feature and was working our way up and got a flat right rear.
So would you run that same car then if you do decide to go late model, or would you get a entirely different car?
It'd be the same car.
Same car? Okay.
Swap out motors and go at it again.
Would you go for the championship? Or just rookie of the year?
Honestly, if I go late model, I'd be more for traveling, hitting up more tracks, just getting more experience and having a good time.
All right. What's
I want to ask you. Actually, I want to ask all 3 of you one at a time. Any thoughts of doing the hangover races on January 1st and 2nd?
I don't know. You got a motor to borrow? I need a motor.
You got a motor? You haven't bloated
I don't
up
have
yet.
it. It's at the engine shop.
Oh no.
Well, you got a month and a half to get it back, right? You'll be all right. No commitment. When are you gonna make the decision as to what your plans are for next year? Do you have like
probably
last Saturday in April?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The weekend before racing starts.
All right. Very non-committal. Rusty Smith, congratulations on the championship, and hopefully we'll see you at the banquet. Don't go anywhere, though. I have one more question, at least one more question that I want to ask you, but I want to talk to the other guys here real quick. Cool?
All right.
All right. Let's unmute Mr. Riffe here. Bring him in. How's it? It still says you're muted there. Let me Let's try that. There you go. Oh wait, you unmuted. You muted yourself. There you go.
There we go.
Talk to us, Ricky.
Hey, Ricky.
Hey,
So are we going with Richard, Ricky, Rich? I think we ask you this each time.
just whatever. Just don't call me late for dinner.
All right. Be early for dinner. Well, congratulations for your championship season. This is kind of the second championship was that the same car that Rushlow ran last year?
Yeah, Terry ran it last year, and I decided to take the seat this year. It's my car. He put it together.
So you got the owners championship last year, and this year the driver and owners championship.
Yes.
Not that there's a separate owners championship, but it sounds good. You were associated with it, so that's cool. 6A main wins, and you still had a tight point race right there at the end, and you and folks duking it out pretty much every Saturday night. It seemed like. Tell us about that.
Well, I mean, there ain't nothing I can say. I know this car was a monster, man. I went right out of the box. We didn't even put it on scales till I don't know. It's been a few weeks in, and seen the numbers are changing. The car was falling off a little, and then it just came back alive. Terry told me to do it. And we kind of went through it, put it on them scales, and
now did you race it all last season, or did you take the entire season off?
One time
I thought I remember seeing your name racing out there. I mean,
I ran the what was it, the topless night last night. Was
A non-point night.
Yeah, after the points were over.
Yep.
So I mean, how hard was it? Watch. I don't know. Maybe it was easy for you, but I mean, watching instead of racing. Which do you enjoy more?
Well, I was there tearing my nails off, watching my own car go around, and wishing I was behind the seat, but I gave it to him and told him to run it.
And then you decided that did you offer it to him this past season? Or I know he had a separate deal with Jamie, but if you asked him to come back and run it this season, would he have?
Oh, he probably would have. He kept telling me to get in it. He's like, "You need to be in it. You need to be in it." So,
all right. The big question: plans for next year.
I think I'm gonna take the year off. I got to put a car together. Run.
What's wrong with that one?
Oh, I don't know. The jig ain't on the table yet, is it?
Nah.
Ron's building trucks now. I mean, maybe he'll build you a truck and go race
trucks,
it.
Cars. Yeah.
I'm going to take the year off and help Rushlow. He's going to be running a late model with Alan Markey.
Oh, is he? Okay. Yeah. He was in that car at least one time this past season. Maybe a couple times. Yeah. Yep. And looked pretty strong in it.
Yeah.
Very strong.
So yes. I think he's only got 5 nights in the car, period. Something like that.
Well, we wish him luck and wish you luck as well. Did you sell your car? Did I hear that?
No. I think I have it sold. I'll find out next week. I ain't gonna make it over to the hangover race. The motor's out. The car's ready to be sold. So.
Just don't sell it to another bomber driver. Make sure to sell it to somebody that's going to race it at some other track.
Right.
Right. Whatever. We had Jordan Conover on a few weeks ago, and there was some controversy. Did you want to talk about that? I know you cleared the air with him. Everything's fine. It's all behind you, and that was kind of off the show. But you want to tell everybody your side of the story just to kind of get that out there?
Well, the week of the points night, he kind of hit that dip over there at turn 1, and it shoved him up into me, and it was a points night. I took it a little too far, to the extreme, which I shouldn't have, and I apologize to him. Of all nights, it was a points night, so it just really irritated the crap out of me. So, in the following week, I had some issues with the car. The car was going backwards. I don't care what I did with it. We ended up finding out what the problem was, but I got into him the topless night and took him out intentionally, and I felt like crap about it. So I had contacted Gary and Ron and you. I've talked to Tim, very nice guy. I talked to Jordan as well. He's a very nice guy, and we buried the hatchet, and they're really good people, man. It's just the things I did. I caught a lot of crap from a lot of ends. Russell was a big one. He was ready to choke me when I got out of the car. He cussed me out. I shouldn't have been driving like that. That's not my style. And I felt really bad. And that's why I contacted everybody that was involved. I even contacted Chrissy and let her know as well, that was stupid on my behalf.
And sometimes the emotions get the best of you.
Absolutely. It was a points night, and that's what really, really got me going. He did try to come over and make amends with me at the victory lane there, and I kind of said a few words to him that maybe I should have waited, and I should have not have said that, and we buried the hatchet. They're really, really amazing people. From what I can tell, they're really nice.
And Ricky, that's the really cool part. You guys did work it out. It's not something that sits there festering, and you can go on. And chances are you guys are going to race against each other again, and it'll be a whole lot better.
Absolutely. And like I'm hoping to see with him. I want to run door to door with him. You know what I mean? I don't want to trade no paint in some way like that. But Robin's racing was one thing, but what I did was wrong, and I'm glad that we got it behind us. We can move forward.
Just another one of those silly life lessons.
Absolutely.
So looking ahead, you said you're taking next year off. What's your plans beyond next year, 2 years from now?
Yeah, I'd like to know.
I might do some hitting and missing. I'm going to run Eldora. I want to check that track out. Half mile, I ran 3/8. I had a blast with that. I want to go, check out Eldora, maybe hit a Lima or, Millstream or something like that. Check them out.
Okay. Well, we wish you luck and everything that goes on, and true champion there. It being able to admit you made a mistake there and making amends for it. So very cool.
Thank you.
Proud of you.
I got a message from Mr. Kester here. We're gonna have to call him, so we'll call him in just a moment. In the meantime, let's don't go anywhere. I got something to ask you, Mr. Riffe, a little bit later. We're gonna ask everybody here.
Okay.
It's a group thing, so hang tight. Let's bring in Eric here and unmute him. Eric, congratulations on your championship season in the combat.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I see you're a Lions fan. Is that what I'm seeing behind you there?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Gold and silver seems to be a common thread there with the shirt and the Lions. Yeah.
It's like a Lions themed Rusty Schlenk shirt. Well, that looks kind of like an older one. So I guess what you had 2 wins this year. Did you think at the beginning of the year you would have a shot at the championship?
Not even a little. Started off the year pretty rough. Had quite a few DNFs at the beginning of the season.
I think you had. You were just consistently out there though, and that had to help out.
Yeah.
Making it out each and every week.
Yeah.
Did you get caught up in any big accidents, any big repair jobs you had to do to get the car back out the next week?
I only had a couple issues. Mainly it was blowing the front tire or right front tire. Finally got that figured out, and then as soon as I got that going, then I blew the transmission and fought that most of the rest of the year, because I got a different gear ratio, and nothing wanted to work right.
Now, how many years you been running now?
This is my 4th year.
4th year? Okay. That's
Eric,
not too bad.
Are we going to see you back in the compacts next year?
That's the plan as of right now. building a car for my niece. Hopefully she'll actually run it this year.
So you're going to be running and competing against your niece then?
Yeah. That's the game plan.
I wasn't sure if it was your car going to her or if, okay. Just making sure you got two cars there. So what was the problem with the right front tire going down? What was the deal?
I'm really not sure what it was. I ended up changing the air pressures around quite a bit, and then ended up putting a tube in it to kind of help cushion it a little bit. And it eventually worked.
Was that switch that really took off for you the second half of the season? Was when you got the tire problems figured out?
That and getting the tire size figured out was the biggest thing.
Yeah, you guys were definitely awesome the second half of the season. You were there each and every week right at the end of the race battling for the wins. It was fun to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get to see a lot of them. Jerry got to see most of the compacts. I was waiting and staging for the B mains all the time, so I missed out on a lot of the races. But I know the guys in the compacts. It's you guys go hard.
Yeah,
it's
you gotta do something to get them a little bit quicker. We're missing a few cylinders there.
That class has changed so much from its inception. The cars are really impressive now.
Yeah.
Would you say your car is impressive?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll give it.
So what do you think was the biggest attribute other than figuring out the tire for you to be able to walk away with this year's championship?
Just not giving up. I mean,
It's not.
Just keep looking for next week, and we're spending almost every night in the shop trying to figure out one way to make it just a little bit quicker.
Now, did you actually make it quicker, or did everybody else just slow down? That's something I always wonder.
I'm hoping I made it quicker, but they probably just slowed down. Made me feel better at least.
So what? Go ahead, Jerry.
There's an old superstition in racing that you don't put green on a race car, that it's bad luck. What do you say to the naysayers about that after this season?
Well, I mean, I changed the colors about halfway through the season, and it worked out good for me.
So it was the color change, not so much figuring out the tire problem.
You might have a point there. That could be it.
Is there any chance of seeing you at the hangover races? The front wheel drive class looks like it's shaping up to be a lot of fun, a lot of interest, especially in your class, from the guys wanting to try both Sandusky and Findlay.
Yeah, I've thought about it, but we'll see when the time comes if the motors in the car still at that point.
Good time.
That seems to be the common thing. Motor's not in the car. That's my excuse. I'm not going to race in the cold. Motor's not in the car.
It's a good excuse if nothing else.
Yeah.
Did Corey Gum teach you anything? It seems like there were times he was blazing fast, like he might have put a lot of pressure on you guys, but did racing against him make you better, I guess?
I would have to say yes. I mean, he was always the biggest competition every week. I'll give him credit there. I mean, he builds fast cars.
Just you were a little bit faster.
I don't know about that. I just got lucky a few times.
All right. I think we got Steve Kester finally joining us now. Steve.
Hello.
Hey.
I got you.
Yeah. So everybody,
I can't see him, Scott.
He's there. Can you see him now?
Oh, all right.
All our other champions, Oakshade champions, seem to be able to. Wow, that sounds terrible. They've figured out the digital stuff. How come you couldn't figure it out?
Where we live, it's all wireless and it don't work at all. I'm already cut telephone poles down.
That I can understand.
Yep.
Well, we talked to all our other champs, and we still have another question to ask them. But I know we had you on the show not too long ago, and actually earlier this year. I asked you this question then. You said that at the beginning of the year you weren't running for the track championship,
And I wasn't.
And here you are, the track champion.
Well, I think that's how you maybe have to do it. Is not say you're not running for points, then you win them. I guess.
That's how that works.
Yeah.
Was there one moment that you could pinpoint during the season, that may have been like the biggest contributing factor for winning the championship? Was there one thing that helped push you over the edge?
I wasn't running good at all through the season, and then went down to Aki Force. Me and my wife did. Spent a day down there, and then he went to Attica with us for a couple weeks, and then we knew from there it was a good car. So, and we started winning races again.
So, who do you think your biggest competition in the late model class was?
Devin. There's a lot. Rusty, Casey Noonan. There's a lot of them. So you never know on which night who was going to win.
How satisfying was it to break Devin Shields' championship run there at 3? He was going for 4 this year.
It's always good. Nice to beat him. I felt bad for him, and on championship night he broke in hot lap, so we went down there and helped him put his car back together. He would do the same thing. So,
now, did you have as much bad luck as he did this year? Because early in the season we talked about this. We had Devin on last year. He did win the championship at Attica. He ended up upside down at Oakshade. It just seems like he just didn't have any luck going his way this season. Did you have any gremlins like that?
Yeah, well, the night that he was upside down, he was upside down on top of me. So, he was. Yeah, we had our fair share of bad nights too.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of stupid stuff that should never happen, but that's part of it.
Well, it was a weird 2020 year, but you got the championship, and I think we ended up running more races this year than we did last year with all the rainouts. So it ended up being a pretty typical season from a racer standpoint, I would guess. Other than
so that means the points fund should be higher, right?
Well, other than I think it should be, but then there's the fact that we raced how many weeks without fans, and then limited fans, and we didn't have any of the big events this year. How odd was that, not having like the birthday race or the American Late Model Series races?
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I'd be curious what happens next year too. I hope we get back to normal, but.
Speaking
you'll be doing the same thing again next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
You're gonna start off the season.
I like to go. I like to go back to traveling a little more.
So you'll start off the season and say you're not going to go for the championship, and then kind of see where it goes from there, huh?
Yeah, that's my plan. I'm gonna sell it all. That's what I said this year, and look where it got me. So
yeah,
we'll try that again.
So switching gears a little bit, congratulations on being nominated for Redneck of the Year.
Well, which time?
The most recent one with the moving the new pig pen down your road.
Yeah, what is this story?
I got away with it. Until I pulled in the driveway. That's when I got all the phone calls.
Really?
For not having permits. But as soon as I pulled in the driveway, I didn't need permits no more. So
what is the story on this? You were hauling a garage down the road?
Yeah, we was gonna build one, and then our township had one for sale on some property that they were selling. So on an online auction, so I bought it and I moved it.
And how'd you move it?
I
Carefully.
we jacked it up, put boards across, and mounted a trailer to it underneath, and hooked it to the tractor. And I use the tractor that way. It's agricultural, so if I got too much trouble, agricultural is a little different rule, so got away with it.
It's a hog barn.
Yep.
And hauled it with your tractor. Makes perfect sense
Yep.
to me.
All right. Well, I have one last question for all of our champions here. And Steve, you've had some experience in this. If and we'll ask you first since we got you on the phone here. If each of you, the four champions, Ricky Riffe, Eric Carr, Rusty Smith, and yourself, were in a race of equally prepared outhouses, who would win?
I'd say I would again.
Didn't you crash pretty hard in your outhouse that time that you were?
Oh yeah.
Thought you lost a right front or something.
And I won the feature that night too.
I thought you banged your head pretty hard in that outhouse crash.
Yeah, it was a good time though. I still got the trophy and everything, still with the toilet paper on it.
Just hang on to that. You never know when it might be really important.
Yeah, it might be worth the money now.
All right, Steve. Congratulations, and we'll look for you at some point next summer at Oakshade. Then.
All righty, thank you.
All right.
See you, buddy.
Yep. Bye.
All right. Who? Let's go back to Eric here and ask him this question. Did you see? Were you there the night the outhouse races happened? This was.
I was actually in it.
Were you in it?
Actually in it then.
Okay.
They broke before we could finish. Yeah.
Oh.
We were still undefeated, the team, but they broke them before we could finish. So I'm kind of salty about that one still. I think we need a rematch.
Probably Steve's fault. He's the one that that one busted, and then they kind of all fell apart. But so, do you think that you could beat him then?
Oh yeah.
And everybody else here, Rusty and Ricky.
Sure.
All right.
I'm
Well,
gonna go. Yeah. I mean, you gotta have confidence.
what do you guys have to say about that, Rusty and Ricky?
I don't know. I haven't done it.
Would you do it? And if you did, who do you think would win?
Well, Kester apparently likes to wreck them.
Just stay away from him. You might be all right then.
I don't know. Probably Eric, because he said he was undefeated.
Right, what do you think, Rusty?
There.
I don't know. Let's try it beginning next year.
See, I like it.
Never run.
All right, we'll have to get Chrissy on that to get some outhouses together. They got plenty of them. It's just getting the wheels to stay on, I think, was the issue.
Well, the big problem is getting them emptied before they race them.
What? That's no fun. We wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah. I bet Steve wouldn't wreck it next time.
I don't want to be able to get jumped.
Although, if they did, I think we did that at intermission, didn't we? So it probably would create quite a slick spot, for the features. Yeah.
It'd be a city ride.
Yeah, that's accurate. I can't argue with that. Well, guys, thank you guys for joining us, coming on, and I know, other than Ricky, there, good luck to you guys next year. Well, good luck to you too, even if you're not racing. But we appreciate you guys giving us the time tonight.
Thank you for having us.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you,
guys.
gentlemen. Thank you, Harry.
See you guys.
See ya.
All right. Again, thanks to all of our champions, Ricky Riffe.
It's lonely in here, Scott.
Eric Carr. I had a lot of people there. Rusty Smith and Steve Kester there. Yeah.
We still have room for 4 more, though.
We did. We can do 10.
Yeah.
I think it might get a little confusing, though, who's going to talk and be like, no, you go. No, you go. Just a little bit of racing news before we get to our Hammer Down hotline and how many, and wrap up the show here. With 3 consecutive Ollie's Bargain Outlet All-Star Circuit of Champions championships under his belt, Aaron Reitzel is ready for a new challenge. Reitzel is going to embark on his first full-time season with the World of Outlaws NASA Energy Drink Sprint Series next year, driving the iconic Roth Motorsports number 83. In some other NASCAR news, another driver and owner, busted for making some comments on social media. Did you hear about this, guys?
No.
Josh Rome, Reaume.
Yeah.
Team owner and driver in the NASCAR Gander RV and Outdoors Truck Series, has been indefinitely suspended from NASCAR for a social media post. Josh says, oh man, I didn't, he had a comment. He said, and I thought I pasted it here. Apparently I didn't. But he said something about the post was about a snack he was eating, I think, and it was misconstrued. I'm gonna have to look that up now. I don't know why that didn't make my prep there, but again, it was one of those posts where I think it was like the Mike Wallace deal, where they didn't really say what it was, but violated their terms. So, yeah.
That's something that bothers me. I'm a licensed NASCAR official because of working in Lima Land, and I feel like even I have to worry about what I say online and what I post, and it's kind of intimidating to know that Big Brother's watching over.
They're watching over. They're probably watching this podcast, going, "Why the hell's he on that piece of crap podcast?"
Oh, whatever.
Here's the quote from Josh. In regards to NASCAR's statement involving my social media posts, on Thursday, I posted a picture of my evening snack, and it was taken out of context. I'm not really sure how.
Hope he wasn't eating a banana.
Are you still sleeping with your secretary, Ron?
Two dogs. Secretary moved to Florida.
Oh, jeez. Moving on. NASCAR is monitoring the Hamlin Jordan team, the 2311 new team, to make sure it's not a 5th Joe Gibbs racing car, because they have an alliance with them, I think, for the motors and everything. And Joe Gibbs already has 4 cars, and they're not allowed to have a 5th one unless it's a rookie or some. Hey, NASCAR official Jerry, what's the official rule on that? Do you have the rule book memorized?
Don't have it memorized, but I believe it's 4 cars. Then you can have a 5th in select races throughout the season for if you have a rookie that you're bringing up. Yeah.
So I guess I don't know if there's been any allegations or anything of it, and I guess NASCAR is just keeping a close eye on it as to make sure that it is separate from Joe Gibbs Racing, even though it's aligned with them. There's a lot of alliances, though. I mean,
so maybe just having a different shop address isn't enough.
They are working out of was it Germain Racing shop? So I mean, it's a separate shop. So yeah, I don't know what the rules are. And finally, I noticed the Hangover Race registration is open at SanduskySpeedway.com for both the Sandusky and Millstream Speedway events, January 1st and the 2nd. So if you want to register on there, I think it's more just so they get an idea how many cars are going to show up.
They would love for you to register just so they have an idea on the car count.
Yeah, the Ocho, fresh off of its 12th place Monster Mash finish, is already registered. And I want to tell you that Perry helped me out. Perry Cox, so thanks to him, I was out there racing. Otherwise, I would not have been. But after my heat race, he looked underneath the rear end because he's like, "Yeah, we need to make some adjustments, make that car faster." And he looked under it, and he's like, it needs to go to Ron Miller. The rear end's all messed up, Ron.
Oh, again?
Springs aren't lined up. My spring looks like a slinky, and yeah, some things need fixed. So,
well,
I don't know.
Real quick, you two, we talked to the champions at Oakshade, but we haven't really talked to you guys about your 2020 season at Oakshade Raceway. Let's talk a little bit about how you did this year in the Ocho, Scott. I mean, you had some growing pains this year, but you still were there every week and put on a show for the fans.
Well, I don't know if I put on a show for the fans, but no, there's a lot there's a lot hurting underneath that sheet metal that things aren't pointed in the right direction. So it hasn't been as good as it was the year prior, but still fun to go out there. And due to my current employment situation,
that was going to be my next question. With the change in employment, what are you looking at for your plans for 2021 at this point?
Well, I was going to work with Mr. Miller there and possibly look at the possibility of putting together a new car. But unfortunately, the funding for that has dried up. So hopefully it will have enough to at least fix some of the wrongs with the Ocho here and maybe squeeze another season or two out of that thing. But yeah.
Well, how about you, Professor? Your 2020 season was filled with ups and downs, and late season you seem to start coming around.
It was as crazy a season as I've had in a long time, and it was totally unplanned. Scott, you'll remember at the Oakshade Banquet last year, I announced that it was that 2019 was going to be my last year of perfect attendance at Oakshade after 35 consecutive years of being there every Saturday night.
I've learned though over the years that you never can take a racer's word, but a racer at their word.
Obviously.
Especially if it has anything to do with retirement.
Yeah, well, and I wasn't retiring. I've got an outlaw car that's been sitting in the garage here for 2 years and hasn't moved a wheel. And it was our intent to run that outlaw car. I very much enjoy running those races. And then the virus hit, and the Run What You Brung shows dried up, and it was just more beneficial to stay closer to home. And you're right, Jerry, we came up with a few things towards the end of the year that really made a difference in the car. And I started running with my head in a different position. Where my head was a little awkward. Sometimes it's difficult.
A little dark and stinky?
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay.
And we had a good year. We finished top 10 and in points, and I had a great time.
Now, did you get any pointers from Steve? Because he had a pretty good season
too. Steve had a great season. I'm so proud of that kid. But he headed off in his own direction on chassis setup and even chassis configuration. And it really worked for him. I was very proud of my son.
So none of that would have translated over to your car since he had a totally different.
If I fired up the torch and the welder, yeah, it could have, but it would have. We would have had to head in that direction.
Well, you guys, it was fun to watch and be a part of it in 2020. I want to thank you guys for being there every week and helping put on a show on for the fans.
Well, thank you for being there too, for allowing me to go out and have fun.
You had a degree of professionalism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know about all that. I'm just a race fan who gets to talk a lot of crap all night.
Well, Ron, you get to bring your outlaw. Are you bringing your outlaw out for the hangover races?
Sadly, the outlaw motor is in Steve's car.
Ooh.
So now, if you remember last year, I brought the late model with the sideboard, and that sideboard's still there. So I'm pretty sure with the workload that we've had in the shop, I'll be back with the late model, and it was good enough last year. So,
are you going to be behind the wheel?
Absolutely.
Okay. I know sometimes there's other folks behind. Are you going to be at both tracks behind the wheel?
Oh, absolutely.
All right.
Yeah, I wouldn't miss the Millstream race. And Gumby will be in the 911 car, as far as I know, at both races.
Oh, the late model, not the truck.
Right, correct.
The other Kackemeister deal.
And I believe Corey McCoy will be in the 911 truck at both races.
The same truck he's been running this past season.
Yes. We're doing a couple little updates to it here, and Ornery Don's fixing up the body. So,
wait, he's doing this before the hangover race, though?
Oh yeah,
okay. Gotta be pretty for it.
Aren't you doing the Ocho? We can do it twice.
No, the Ocho's just sitting, waiting out there, looking like things are falling apart. There's holes and
Scott, before I forget, I got a call from our good Australian friend Alan Blake last night, and I guess he's got his entire USA team up for sale.
Oh, I did see that
car,
Ronnie
the
Troyer
trailer,
posted something.
car, trailer, truck, the whole shebang. So if anybody's interested in going racing, start the truck up and drive it away. It is a couple years older car, but can still be very competitive. Great engine.
I was going to say, it hasn't had much use over the past few years, has it?
No, it hasn't. Alan and I had a long talk last night. The situation in Australia right now is that it's virtually impossible to fly out of the country and then come back home. They've locked things down much harder than we have. So the summer of 2021 wouldn't happen. It would be at the very least 2022 before he could come back over. The car, the engine, the whole rig is 2 years older at that point. And they've just made the difficult decision to put it up for sale. So it is for sale. And if somebody really likes watching Roddy Schroyer race, buy the whole shebang, and Roddy will be more than happy to drive it for you.
I wish I had some money.
There we go.
Me too. I haven't checked my lotto ticket this week.
Oh,
all right.
There you go.
Nor have I.
Let's play How Many. Last week's How Many was how many laps will the 2020 NASCAR Cup Series champion lead at Phoenix?
And it was a boatload.
Sunday, and it was 153. Chase Elliott there doing what he needed to, winning both the last two races to win that championship in the Cup Series. So the our show winner was me. I guess 143. I was 10 laps off. I also copied John Deere, who was our online winner, who also guessed 143. So John Deere gets himself a Big D's pizza. Free Big D's pizza. So if you'd like to win a Big D's. Oh, speaking of that, I'm not sure if Matt contacted Dean Henry over there at Big D's, but Matt Swander, our winner last week, also flagman out at Oakshade, wanted to do something similar to what Scott Warner did with donating his pizza to first responders, I do believe. I'll have to get the details on that. So,
very cool.
Stand-up deal there.
There you go. This week's How Many? Not much racing going on around here, but your chance to win a Big D's pizza anyways is how many job offers will this guy get by 5 o'clock next week?
Ooh.
There you go. Put your guesses in the and really only I know, so I can make the number. So that's pretty cool. Put your guesses in the Facebook Live comments. You can do so right up until 5 o'clock next Thursday. Brian,
your own flesh and blood.
My own brother.
Cheap shot.
Well, he might be right. I just started putting the resumes out, so So John gives me at least one, so that's good. Tim Murphy says,
I won't be listening to John Young again this week.
Okay.
I'm going 4.
You're going 4? All right.
2.
You guys are awfully optimistic. 1, 2. Kathy's
I
in
have
Florida.
faith in you.
Kathy's in Florida.
I'm going with my brother. I'm going with 0.
Really?
Yeah, because I don't think job offers come in quite that quick. I got to have an interview first. So not an interview, an actual job offer which says, hey, come work for me and I'll pay you. Of course, then Ron could fudge that and offer me a job and say, I'm going to pay you this much, like $2 to come work for me for an hour or something. So there you go.
I need somebody to answer the phone.
The shop.
What's that?
I need somebody to come over and help sort tools at the shop.
Oh, do you? Well, I don't know. I don't know if I can. I'm not qualified for that kind of work, I don't think. Thanks to our associate producer, Dave Kemmer, field correspondents, Matt Swander, Doug Dock. Next week on the show, it is our Fremont Speedway Champions show. Those guys started off a little bit late this year due to the COVID restrictions. Everybody started off late, but they started even later, but ended up getting a pretty full season in there. Nate Dussel, Sean Valeni will be joining us. I spoke to Sean actually down at Montpelier this past weekend. He was running in the same class that I managed to run in. He did much better than me. He didn't lap me though. He was he was driving the 7B truck.
Oh, the truck. Okay.
Yeah, he did not lap me. Oh, Dean says he's going to give me a job offer to deliver pizzas.
There you go.
Ron says he wants them delivered. So can I set the price on the delivery fee? You know, maybe that'll, or maybe I get to eat some of it. I don't know. John Deere says I got one. So yeah, I'm already losing here, I think. Anyway, anyways, yeah. Sean did, he was running up with the leaders in the feature there. I couldn't see him. He was way up front. So, but he didn't lap me. The leader did lap me though, which was unfortunate right before caution came out. I was upset. Who
won in the super streets out there?
I'm not sure. I don't know who won that. I know the Brian Ruhlman won the modifieds. He was fast.
That's
he
awesome.
Had that place figured out. Yeah.
That's one of the downsides at Montpelier. I wish they would do better about posting their results, even though they're not running a full season this year. The couple times I worked there, I tried to submit them to them, at least get somebody to put them up, and yeah. So,
well, and their website's not down, but or their website's not up anymore. But they were going to have a different promoter, and that kind of fell through, and that almost caused issues with them getting a ambulance for this weekend.
Yes, I saw that. That was yeah.
Apparently, the previous promoter had not paid the ambulance company, so they weren't going to come out.
Supposedly, that gentleman is also going to be promoting another track over there next spring, summer. So we'll have to see how that plays out. Whitewater Speedway.
Oh,
yeah.
And
I was thinking maybe Bearfield, but wow.
Yeah.
Is that still a track, or they tore that down like Mansfield?
Yeah, I think they did at the end of last year, didn't they? Or beginning of this season?
Or they were going to sell it. I'm not sure. I think it was being sold for.
I don't know that it's been bulldozed. There you go, Jerry. Homework assignment for you, Jerry.
You got it.
Or any of our listeners over in the Fort Wayne area, Fort Wayne, Indiana. Drive by Bearfield Airport there and see if the track still exists or not. Or if it's a field, or if maybe it's commercial development now. I don't know.
Maybe it's a landing strip.
Yeah. So, anyways, Nate Dussel, sprint champion, 410 sprint, and Sean Valeni, the truck champion, out there at Fremont Speedway, will be joining us next week on the show.
We need to lean on Paul and Andrea and get Paul on this show.
Or Andrea.
I'd leaned on Andrea. We could probably get Andrea on, but
we've had Andrea on before.
Yeah.
We'll let her talk for him. She'll help us make fun of him.
She'll speak on his. I'll ask if she'll speak on his behalf on the show next week.
Yeah,
we'll see if we can do that. Before we leave, we have our Hammer Down hotline. Again, if you would like to leave a message to be on the show this week, or not this week, next week, call the number. It is 419-318-3081. That number again, 419-318-3081. Call anytime, day or night. Don't worry, nobody's going to answer. I mean, you'll hear my voice. It's just a message. It's just an automated deal. So
let us know if you like the show, if you don't like the show, if you got something you'd like to see on the show. If you just want to talk racing, just give us a buzz. Let us know what you think.
Or you just want to call and swear a whole bunch. I mean, that's fine too.
And again, if you know who this is, because he was anonymous, leave a message in the comments.
All right, here we go. This week's. It's very exciting. It's going to last real long. That's sarcasm. Here you go.
I just want to warn you that tomorrow is Friday the 13th, 2020. Good luck.
It's very ominous. Now I do listen to. I think you're right, Ron. I think you're right.
Make my day.
I kind of think so too. It sounds like the
Not
other
the one you want to mess with.
Yes.
Yeah, but we'll wait for somebody in the comments to inform us.
We're not going to wait that long, but we'll go through the sponsors one last time here. Again, thanks to Ron Miller Race Cars. Are you busy? You got what do you got going on? Any specials? Anything good?
Oh, we're just working our butts off, Scott. Again, the Fremont Truck program has been very good to us.
Dave Kemmer knows who it is. Well, that doesn't help. Who is it then? Millstream Speedway. Thank them for sponsoring the show. They'll be sponsoring us through January of next year. They're going to be racing actually January 2nd. And I believe myself and Jerry are going to be up in the booth doing some stuff out there. And these other two guys up on top here will be out on the track doing some laps. So, again, January 2nd. Follow them on Facebook, Twitter, or millstreamspeedway.net. And thanks again to Big D's Pizza and Clyde. Mention the Hammer Down Racing Report. Save 10% off any order. And maybe I'll have a job delivering pizzas for Big D's Pizza.
Yeah. Work your way up the corporate ladder.
Yeah. Dean Henry says it's Chris Mize. Isn't that wasn't Chris Mize. It's Dave Kemmer. That wasn't Dave, was it? Was it Dave?
No.
No, I got to listen to it again. All right.
I just want to warn you that tomorrow is Friday the 13th, 2020. Good luck.
No, I don't think that's Dave.
No, I know who it is.
Okay. I believe it's Chris Mize. All right, so there you go. We'll have that mystery hanging over your head until next week's show. Or you might want to check the Facebook comments. Maybe somebody will guess who that actually is. Dave says nope. Yep. See, I didn't think it was Dave.
And you can play that segment of the show over and over and over again until you figure it out.
Tell you what, call the Hammer Down hotline number and tell us who you think it is, and we'll play back all the guesses next week. How's that? 419-318-3081. Maybe somebody will actually call and leave a message. Oh, wait, that's what I wanted to mention. Don't forget, we're about to sign off here. So as soon as we do, click on that pinned post on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Hammerdown Racer Report, to vote for Toledo City Paper's Best of Toledo. Local podcast, Hammer Down Racing Report, is one of the 6 nominees up for that honor. And so you click on that, you scroll down. It's I think it's like the second to the last category there. It's in the media section. So meteorologist is on there too. So make sure to give Ryan Weekman a nod while you're on there as well. Our official Hammer Down, our Hammer Down Racing Report meteorologist. That's what we're going to call him. I don't know if he knows that. He does our weekend weather pit stops for us. So give him a nod and then scroll down a little bit more and give us a vote. We appreciate it. That voting goes through December 18th, I believe, something like that. So
December 15th at 11:59.
Every single day. I was right. Wait, 15th?
Yeah, you got it.
Oh, I think I said 18th, but yeah, there you go. So middle of December. Every single day, go there and vote. And like Ron said, if you have some extra time and you want to like try and fool the system, use different email addresses or computers, whatever, go for it. I have nothing against that. There's no rules about voter fraud or anything like that with the Toledo City Papers deal, because I don't have any representatives to be able to watch over them as they count the votes.
And if we lose, we absolutely promise not to call for a recount
or a lawsuit.
I was going to say, yes. I can't make that promise. I don't know. I don't think I can. So that's it for this show. Make sure to tune in again next week for Fremont Champs, 7 o'clock Thursday nights. We'll be at you live on Facebook, Twitter, Periscope, and YouTube. Follow us on all of those things.
Real quick comment. Jeff Babcock giving you some praise, Scott.
I missed it.
Said you looked good last weekend. So there you go. And Jeff would know. Jeff,
I was having a good hair day. That's why. Thanks, Jeff. It was a good hair day last weekend.
Get an attaboy.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So, yeah. Listen to us on demand, Google Podcast, iTunes, Spotify. We're on all the big ones, even the small ones, too. Until then, call the Hammer Down hotline, and we will see you next week. We're out.
Yes, we will.
Hammer down, hammer out.
You have been listening to the Hammer Down Racing Report,